So we only have about 5 minutes left in the program. We'll give each candidate a minute, if you can, stick to that time, to just do a brief final statement to the electorate, and we thank you again for coming. We'll start with Kevin Cahill.
Well, folks, when I saw you 2 years ago, I had a step-granddaughter who was 9 years old, and I now have 2 more grandchildren, and they'll be starting school in 4 years and 5 years. We have to make sure that the education system is appropriate for all of our kids, and we want to make sure that the generation we build tomorrow can provide for society and provide for all of us. We also need to make sure that what we have today works. We have to stop mortgaging our future, we have to invest in our infrastructure, and we have to do it now. I've been supporting that approach to government. I think it's the appropriate approach, and I want to thank you in particular for giving me the opportunity to do so for the number of years you have, and I hope that I can count on you to give me that opportunity again. Don't forget to turn over the ballot on November 4th. There are 3 propositions there that certainly deserve your attention. I hope if you want to afterwards, we'll have a chance to talk about them. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. For me, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to run for New York State Assembly. If you would have asked me 6 months ago, would I be running for Assembly, I would have said, no, you're crazy. Unfortunately, nobody else stepped up, so they pushed me up to the center. But I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be running against Mr. Cahill. He's been a gentleman, as he called me several times throughout this campaign. Hopefully that will continue. But we definitely, you heard me mention property taxes several times. That's been a pet peeve of mine. I've never voted to increase your taxes in Ulster County. I never will. As your next assemblyman, hopefully, I will never vote for a tax increase again. And we do need to do more. We have to work on our bridges, infrastructure, education. We didn't talk about the SAFE Act. A lot of things we missed here. You know, we should repeal that. Me and Kevin have been arguing about the Constitution lately. The SAFE Act violates not only the Second Amendment, probably the Fourth and Fifth. But, you know, again, stop, please. Stop. Thank you all again for coming.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to come before you. I rarely come up here in Kingston, but thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today. I've been successful in passing legislation, in bringing resources, in leading by example, traveling back and forth to Albany without taking per diem, and really being concerned about the issues that affect my community. It's a very diverse community, going from inner cities to rural communities. I lived in both communities. I understand them both, and I understand the importance of business once again, and what we have to do to reduce taxes, to provide incentives, and to provide investments that would allow our communities to expand and grow and create jobs. There's nothing more important than that. This is what I'm focused on, and this is what I'll continue to focus. There are many projects that are under works right now, including, for example, Highland, the Wine Village in Highland, $700 million project, whether it is bringing back a casino down in Newburgh, which I'm fighting very vigorously, all because we want to create jobs and create opportunities for my community. That's what I've done. I've done it with leadership and integrity, and thank you.
Imagine what we'd be able to accomplish if you didn't have to worry about broken promises from political officials and them not living up to what they told you. We need to ensure that whoever we put in is accountable to us, that our voices gets heard, our voices as a whole is heard in Albany. We need to ensure that the things that they say make it to Albany, and that we're not just representatives of New York City. Because here in the Hudson Valley, we're not the same as New York City. So we need to make sure that our voices get heard. And on November 4th, you have that choice to ensure to put a person in position that's going to take your concerns to Albany. And I hope that you vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you. We could tax and spend our way, which we've been doing for many years in New York, to oblivion, and that's why we're dead last in just about every major category. We have the largest outmigration of population, businesses, and manufacturing of any other state in the country. We now have the highest tax burden. We have the second highest energy costs, and taxing and spending is not the solution. It doesn't take Common Core to teach people that all the states that are successful in this state, in this country right now, are reducing taxes and they're reducing the burdens on government. They're rejecting Common Core. They're teaching their students to be, as Kevin Cahill said, the students of tomorrow, because they're critical thinkers. We do not want to go the direction we're going. We want to turn the other way. We want to roll back corruption in Albany. We want to stop taking billions in taxpayer money and handing it over to the big businesses and bribing them to stay, while we forget about our small businesses and our family farms, who have been and still are the bulk of our economy. Agriculture is still #1 in New York State, and we need to remember that, and mostly by family farms. Thank you.
We need to secure our future. Energy policy, agricultural food policy, economic development policy. And the challenge is, and I want to thank again the Chamber and everyone here, the challenge is engagement. Challenge is engagement, substantive engagement, free of rhetoric, free of polarization, issue by issue. And that's what we're missing in our society, and that's where we need to be. So we need to be able to come together on issues, we need to have intelligent, constructive conversation, and we need to be able to direct our priorities rather than be attacking each other endlessly over and over again. So my focus again, engagement, substantive focus, education, healthcare policy, agricultural policy, economic development, securing our future, energy. Thank you.
So, and as was mentioned on the back of the ballot this year, there are 3 pretty significant propositions. One is to revise the state's redistricting procedure. The second one is to permit electronic distribution of state legislative bills. That hasn't happened yet. They're still printed volumes. And the third one is the Smart Schools Bond Act of 2014. Read more about them in this league pamphlet. Thank you to the Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union for being our sponsor. Nice round of applause, please, for our candidates. Thank you for being here. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Excellent.